Ladies and gentlemen, a new snapshot for Minecraft Java Edition 1.17, the Caves and Cliffs Update Part 1 has arrived. Here is 21w17a, coming to you with the new changes to the preview data pack, enabling a new type of caves called Noodle caves, as well as many bug fixes and tweaks. My name is slicedlime, I'm here to take you through a guided tour of all the changes in this version. Let's dive into it, starting with blocks and items. Changes have been done to the small dripleaves. They can now be placed on moss blocks as well as clay. The big dripleaf stem would remain if you broke the stem that was above it or the leaf above it. That bug has been fixed in this version. And hanging roots can now be waterlogged. Change has been done to copper ore as well. Copper ore will now drop 2 to 3 raw copper when mined, and if you use fortune they will drop even more. Speaking of copper, let's move into crafting and keep talking about copper, because the crafting recipes for copper have also changed. Now that you get more copper when you mine it, you now also use more copper to make copper blocks. Copper blocks are now once again crafted from 9 copper ingots, just like any other storage block. In total, with 9 ingots for each copper block and 2 to 3 dropping from every ore, this means that you now need on average 3.6 copper ore for each copper block. That means the copper blocks have gotten slightly cheaper overall. That also means that if you uncraft copper or waxed copper into copper ingots, you now also get 9. A number of fixes have also been done to recipes and the recipe book. The banner copying recipe would ignore the existence of other items inside of the crafting grid when you crafted them. That is fixed in this version. And you couldn't unlock the recipe for mossy stone bricks using moss. That is also fixed. A number of recipes are now also grouped properly in the recipe book. That includes all the candles, the waxed cut copper recipes, the recipes for mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks, and there is now grouping for the raw and or smelting preview. Let's move over to visuals and talk about the new textures. There are yet again new textures for the raw metal blocks in this version. For raw copper, raw iron and raw gold blocks, all three have been updated. And a bug fix for a visual issue in this version: the fishing line would start half the distance away from the fishing rod and bobber on Apple M1 systems. A single UI change in this version: there is a new language now. It is the pre-reform Russian language that has been added. In the single change to mobs in this version, the wither is now immune to freezing damage. World generation changes in 21w17a. The void platform would generate multiple times over if you started a super flat void preset world. That is fixed in this version. Floating islands would generate almost like amplified. That is fixed in this version, and they will now once again generate like they did in 1.16. And the copper and coal ore in deep slate patches will now properly generate deep slate versions of those ores. Let's stay on the topic of world generation and look at the changes to world generation when using the Caves and Cliffs preview data pack. The ore veins that were introduced in the previous snapshot are now slightly rarer and slightly smaller. They're still very large, but slightly smaller. The ores in the veins are clumpier and less evenly distributed, and you can now, if you are lucky once in a while, find a block of raw metal inside of the vein. There's another big change in this version. It is Noodle caves. They are a third type of noise caves. You could see them as a version of spaghetti caves, but thinner, squigglier, and more claustrophobic. In addition to that, a number of stability and performance fixes in this version, including crash fixes, fixes for entities that would duplicate on the client side, and for disappearing entities. There's also a grammar fix for an error message. And those were all the gameplay changes in this version. If you want to try it out even with the crash fixes, keep in mind that snapshots are less stable and can crash the game or even corrupt your world. So if you play this version, do so on a separate test world, or make sure you maintain backups of your worlds. If you want to try it out but you don't know how to, then click on the link in the iCard on the video right now. That'll take you to a tutorial video about how to get and play in Minecraft Snapshot. Now those were the gameplay changes, but there are also changes to the technical side of the game, to commands, to block data, to tags and custom worlds, and there will be a separate video about that. Shorter this week because not as much change, but it will be following this video. So if you're interested in technical changes as well, the video will be right here in an iCard if it's out already. Otherwise, keep an eye on the channel and it will be right up after this one. And that takes us to the end of this video. I want to say a special thanks to some folks who helped me out in the making of this video. Thank you so much to Fabian, Jock Cole, and Veguid for your assistance. It is much appreciated, as is all of your support out there. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Thank you for any interaction you do with this video. Clicking on the like button, leaving a comment, or sharing the video all help out the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the changes in Minecraft Java Edition, then please subscribe to the channel. I make both gameplay and technical update videos for every new snapshot, pre-release, release candidate, and full release of the game. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified when the videos are out. And that's it for this time. Thank you so much for watching. My name is slicedlime, and I'll see you next time.